Welcome to the David Bradley Show with your host, David Bradley.
Hey guys, how's it going? We're just having fun here today. I'm trying to figure out which camera angle I like better, but anyway, so we're going to go with this. And I'm excited. I went and got a haircut and just having all kinds of fun this morning. We've done coffee, we've done breakfast, we've done everything. And I am so excited for everybody to hear this next artist. She started out when she was way young. She has built, she has worked, she has done everything that she needs to do. Wrote her first song at 10 years old, which is totally amazing. I love it. She has been on American Idol. She is pretty much doing everything right, which is amazing. And I want everybody to meet Nashville's newest emerging artist, Miss Emily Brooke.
Hello.
Are you having fun?
Oh, I'm having so much fun. That was like the most amazing welcome on. Thank you.
Oh, you're more than welcome. You deserve it. I mean, see,
Thank you.
I like giving props where props are due.
Thank you.
When I started this podcast, everybody laughed at me.
People be crazy.
Project, think it, do it.
Exactly. Exactly.
Three things.
I love it. I feel like what's the famous Jim Carrey quote where he says you can fail at anything in life, so why not fail at something you love?
Exactly. And somebody reminded me this the other day.
If you're gonna fail, yeah. Sorry.
But somebody reminded me of this the other day. It was Colonel Sanders. The Kentucky Fried Chicken dude.
Yeah, yeah.
In no way, shape, or form is this a sponsorship for him. But he tried with his restaurant, and I don't know if it's true or not what the guy told me, but he told me it was like over 600 times before he actually made it. So you can bang your head against a wall all you want to. Just don't stop.
Exactly.
Keep going.
Exactly.
Because I'm one of those guys. I hate it when you hear the stories of the people come to Nashville. They get taken for everything they got. They throw their music in the back corner and nobody ever sees it anymore.
So true.
I want to hear that song.
Yeah. Because it's always like the hidden gems. And then you almost like, there's been so many times too where like I hear a friend's song and I'm like, dude, that song is so good. How is that not like everywhere? And I feel like that's such a cool thing about Nashville, like going to writers' rounds and everything, is you can discover some of the most amazing music. And sometimes it doesn't even get to hear like the light of day of the mainstream and all the consumers of the music industry, and it's crazy.
Oh, it's nuts. But that's what I like, going to the writers' rounds and stuff, because you hear stuff that you never would have heard before.
It's so true. They're so fun. I
go to the listening room every now and then. I go down to the Commodore. Actually, has got some pretty nice listening. There's another place right there. It's across from Loser's Bar down in that area. I can't remember the name of it. The girl that does most of my producing on the show, she goes over there and runs sound every now and then.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know there was a place across from Losers that did music.
Yeah, it's on the second floor.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking of Velvet Taco right there, and I'm like, yum.
Not Tuesday. We cannot think about tacos now.
I know. I'm like, See, I'm supposed to be, well, I am. I'm doing 75 hard right now. And so I really have just been dreaming about food a lot.
Oh God.
But I feel the best that I felt in a really long time. So that's why I was like, oh, tacos.
Yeah.
That's really cool. There's a venue over there I didn't know about.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to give with her and get the name of that venue.
Yeah, let me know. I want to check that out.
It's pretty cool. So when did this album drop?
Just this past Friday.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. So it's really fresh and it's been really exciting. It's awesome to finally have it out because there was like some complications getting it done, and I was trying to release it towards the end of last year.
Right.
And there's just a couple different things where we had to like files got corrupted and we had to like go back in, and the editing process of like getting all the clips for the videos together was crazy. So I'm like, oh, it's finally out. It's finally done.
Finally.
So exciting.
Well, I mean, it gets frustrating, and I've told people before that run recording studios, you've got to every now and then go through your computer and pull files out and refresh everything and redo stuff, or you're going to end up with problems.
Yeah. No, for real.
I hate glitches. Drives me nuts.
They were like, what's the phrase? The bane of my existence last year was corrupt files. Oh.
Well, see, when I first started doing recording and all that stuff in studios, I'm telling my age, that was back in the reel-to-reel days.
The what to what days?
Reel-to-reel days.
Reel to reel?
Yeah.
I thought of Instagram reels.
No.
I was like, ahead of the times.
No, this was way back in the it was right on the cusp of going from reel to reel to ADAT tapes. So that was back when everything was put on tape. When you got done, you took the tape off and you put it in a box and you put it in a little shelf, and that's where it's set.
Wow. So I imagine that could get like really crazy trying to keep track of like physical things that can like move around like that.
Oh yeah.
That was pretty easy.
Yeah. And things could get lost. I know one band we recorded, we were doing something else and one of their bandmates had sticky fingers and stole the whole thing.
What?
Yeah. But that was, oh God, 40 years ago. 40 years ago.
Wow.
It's amazing how long I've been doing this crap.
That's amazing though. Like I bet it's very like refreshing. It's also like still doing it, but also being in the business for so long, like seeing how much it's grown and changed, and like being able to put your perspective and experience into like everything new that they just keep throwing at us.
Oh yeah. I mean, you figure everything we had in that studio with the reel to reels and everything else and all the stuff to do recording all fits on that now.
That's wild.
And
it's come so far so fast if you think about it like that.
That's a terabyte memory card.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Everything I do on the podcast is on the terabyte memory card now.
That's crazy.
Talk about grow with the times, man.
Yeah. You're with it. You're like, here's my terabyte SD card.
I'm good. And I bought it myself. Nobody bought it for me.
Oh, even better.
Yeah, I know, right? So how old are you now? You're 26?
Yeah, I just turned 26 Monday.
Oh, happy belated birthday.
Thank you. Thank you.
So you had the birthday, then you had the release on Friday. I mean, this is a damn good week for you.
Yeah, it's been really crazy, but so fun getting to tie it into the same week and just have all the excitement.
I can imagine. I read where you wrote your first song at 10 years old. And I was just like, I'm not gonna lie. I'm sitting there thinking wheels on the bus go round and round, you know.
I had one at 13 that was called Party in the Pool that like kind of gave that energy. But I still like have some OG fans that like will make jokes and request that song. And I'm like, guys, this is really funny.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. But no, it's hysterical. I think it's still on Apple Music and it's so funny. But I mean, I was 13 and like what do you write about? Like what have you like, you know?
Yeah.
So
I
it
mean,
was fun. It was a fun song.
but at 13, you did that video.
Yeah.
And I was impressed. For 13 years old, that was a hell of a video.
Oh, thank you. I feel very fortunate. The people I got to work with on it are so amazing and talented, like Jeff Johnson and Sarah Kaus. And Jeff does a bunch of stuff with like Chris Young and Carrie Underwood now. And he's just such a great guy. And so I had such a great time, great experience getting to do that. So it's like a little memory capsule, the music video.
Yeah, but it's for 13 years old to do Blown Away with a music video.
Oh, that music video.
Yes.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Dance Hall. Yeah, that one was fun too. I can't remember who filmed the Blown Away one.
I don't know, but I liked the Blown Away video better than I did the dance hall video.
Oh, controversial. I'm just kidding. Thank you.
And this is where everybody runs to YouTube and looks this up.
Yeah. Like, what does she look like at 13? Oh, gosh.
A cute 13-year-old.
Thank you. Thank you. I feel like just like with anything, when you think of like old videos or things that you've done younger in your career, it's like cringe because obviously you just grow so much, but it's nice to have the memory.
But I love the growth.
Yeah.
I mean,
true.
It's like, that's what I said in your intro. Everything that you've been doing step by step, you have put your heart into it. It was thought out. It was like you secretly got the map to Gondor or something, you know?
Thank you. Thanks. I don't know about that, but thank you.
I thought it was cool as all get out. I mean, it was just.
I appreciate it.
I mean, your whole backstory is just. It's wild. How did you get all that together, though? I mean, what was your whole thought process with where you're at now from where you became?
I would say, so when I started taking guitar lessons, I was 9 years old.
With the long-haired guy.
Yes, Mark. He's great. And
you got to give the guitar guy props, man. Come on.
Oh, yeah. He was like the one I got along with the best at the whole place, which was hysterical because it was like short little bob haircut, me, 9 years old. And Mark is like a heavy rocker with like long hair and piercings and tattoos. And I was like, that's my guy.
That's it.
I loved it. He's awesome. And it was great. I took lessons for about a year and a half. And they were doing like an open mic night at a coffee shop. And it was through like the music place that I took lessons through.
Right.
And so Mark and a couple of the other instructors, I want to say, invited me to come play a couple songs. And my dad actually played guitar or took guitar lessons in high school. And so when I started taking guitar, he started taking lessons with me as well to like freshen back up with it.
Yeah.
And so when it came time to do this open mic, like I was pretty nervous, and my dad was like, well, would it help like if I played with you? And I was like, yeah. And then leading up to it, he was like, I think I'm going to throw up. Are you okay? So my dad ended up being more nervous than me. And it was just so fun.
You much.
What?
It didn't help you much that way.
Yeah, right. I was just, it made me laugh though, because I was like, this is like, you know, my macho dad. And he's like, I'm going to throw up. How are you okay? How are you feeling? So that's where it all started. And my first trip to Nashville, we went as a family for CMA Fest. And it was, I think I want to say I was like 10 at that time. And loved how there was music everywhere. We got back from that trip, and that's how I wrote my first song, was because I kept calling my mom while she was at work, being like, can we move to Nashville? Can we please move to Nashville? And she was like, Emily, I'm working. Like, if you want to move there so badly, write a song about it. And so I was like, okay, love you, bye. And by the time she got home, I had written a song, and it was called Wild and Free. And it was like, I want to be in the country where the skies are so blue, wild horses run wild and free. Like very, you know, what's the word? Whimsical. So it was the first song that I ever wrote, and still didn't move to Nashville. But I live there now. But it pushed me to do that. And honestly, going from there to where I am now, I definitely, like, with my parents, they're so supportive. And so that was huge, because when I first started taking lessons, I wanted to quit because my fingers were hurting. I wasn't getting it right away. And I was like, ugh, my nails are so ugly. And
especially the strum hand.
Yeah, can't have cute nails when you play guitar, I swear.
No.
And so my mom, when she was growing up, her mom, anytime that my mom wanted to like quit something, she was like, okay, that's fine. And so my mom with me, she was like, my mom let me quit anything that I wanted to when I wanted to growing up. So I never really learned how to do many things that I started. Right. So when I wanted to take guitar lessons and then I wanted to quit, she told me that story and was like, if you want to quit so badly, learn your first song, like learn one song on guitar. Once you learn a song, at least you can say, I know how to play guitar. And if you still hate it, then you can quit. But at least you can say, like, you know how to play guitar. And so once I learned my first song, I was like, oh, this is awesome. This feels great. Like, let's go. Let's learn the next song. And obviously it just never stopped. And then
Mom
just
knew.
Them just being so supportive, like trying to figure out ways to like my dad would pick up, like, because my dad's a firefighter and my mom is a dental assistant, and they're no longer together. But when I was younger, like, it was like my dad would pick up shifts like driving a limo when he wasn't on duty, and then he would do like teaching classes and like work at the pole, because I grew up in Wellington, Florida, so we're close to like the equestrian polo club.
Yep.
And so he would be a medic for those. Like, it would just like, they were always just trying to do anything, because obviously didn't grow up having money. So it was harder to just be able to be like, yeah, let's take a trip on up to Nashville.
Yeah.
So that was definitely huge, is like having the support of my family growing up. And
That's what I tell a lot of people. It's a lot of it really depends on your support group.
Yeah.
Your friends that support you, because you're always going to have that one friend that's like, you suck. They don't want you to make it. They want you to stay with them.
Yeah. I've cleared those out of my circle.
It's was it guilty by association?
Yeah. No, literally.
Yeah.
It's no fun. It is so true though. Like it was huge for me getting to have that support, because obviously just like in any industry, but it's so hard to make it in music. And there's just so many different factors that go into it, like who you know, and like is a huge one.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that could be a whole other unfiltered episode, but
Oh, I got stories for days.
I bet. It's so frustrating, like, because I don't know, just obviously when you see some things happen in the industry and you know their backstory or whatever, and it's just like, this really doesn't make sense, and that sucks. I mean, it's great for you, but that sucks for me that's been doing it and working, and like, okay, cool. It's fine.
Yeah. It's that's what I meant earlier, because it drives me nuts. The people that come in, they do the work, they do the time, they pay their dues. But Billy Bob with the big wallet walks right in and just sidesteps all of that.
Yeah.
And you're just like, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to cuss on this show. But you still got the what the moments.
What the heck, and Bob, Billy Bob. Yeah.
That's what drives me nuts.
Oh, yeah. I feel the same way. It's so frustrating, but I like growing up because I did start so young, and I've always had a very strong like work ethic and like drive. And so, sorry, I have something in my eyeball.
It's okay.
I can't tell if it's an eyelash or my hair. So I just might be a pirate for a little bit.
That's okay.
But like the second that I was old enough to get a job, I wanted a job because I wanted to have money to like buy stuff. And I just always had that like drive to work. And so I've worked as like my first job was working a concession stand at a baseball field. And then I worked at a pizza place. Then I worked at like Lush Cosmetics as like a salesperson.
Mm-hmm.
And then a sales lead at Francesca's boutique. And then at the same time, I was also working as a receptionist at a med spa. And then I was like doing all my shows and stuff on the weekends. And at one point I was like working all three of those jobs. Like I would open up the Francesca's store and then go to my pizza parlor job. Yeah. And then like the days that I wasn't there, I was at the med spa job. Mm-hmm. And so that's how I was like paying to go back and forth from Nashville in my later teens to like from like 17, 18, 19. And then I moved here when I turned 20, right before my 21st birthday. But like all that to say, I've worked in a lot of different types of industries that I could see like, okay, would I like being in the medical field for the rest of my life, or like the restaurant industry or sales? And so nothing brings me the same.
You were looking at the B plan.
Well, not even. I was just trying to make money down there to be able to pay to go back and forth to Nashville. And then after it, like the thought that always, when I get really frustrated and down about like, you know, because you always see stuff. So I try to always limit my consumption with social media, but you always see things that like trigger you, it makes you frustrated, and you're like, so what helps me with that is just like remembering all those jobs that I had, and like nothing brings me the same joy as like being on stage and performing and like getting to connect with fans over something that like I wrote about, that I went through, but it's like a universal feeling that like other people can connect to.
Right.
And I think that that's so powerful. And like nothing gives me the same feeling. Like going through all, I was kind of, this sucks. I don't want to do this. And like, I can't imagine doing anything else. And I feel like I was meant to do this. So when I feel like crap, I'm like, okay, you know, if this is something that you want to do, and it's the cheesiest advice, and I get asked a question of like, what's your advice to like people, like young girls or artists, whatever, starting out. And it's always like, don't give up. And it's the cheesiest one, but I feel like cliches are cliche for a reason. But
Exactly.
like, if you really want to do something and you want to make a career out of something that makes you happy, then don't give up.
Exactly.
So
You got
I
to.
feel like I've held on to that all those years.
Well, it's something that my grandmother told me a long time ago. She was like, no matter what you do in life, life sucks. But if you
Adulting is hard.
if you stay the course, good things will come.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to stay the course.
Yep.
Me, I'm looking around for the time clock where I can check out of adulting every now and then. You know, I mean,
That'd be so nice.
give me at least 30 minutes in a pool. I'm good.
Yeah. We're not asking for much, right?
No, it's just,
No.
it was like I told you before we got on air. I haven't had a vacation in 2 years. Give me 30 minutes in a pool. Just leave me.
Yeah.
Have somebody bring me a sandwich and a drink, and I'm good.
That's all I want. That would be amazing. That sounds great.
I know, right?
Yeah. Like a crisp sandwich in a hot summer day. That hits the spot.
Lettuce. Oh,
Yes.
I'm there.
Ooh, like a chicken salad sandwich with lettuce. That sounds so refreshing.
That would be good. I knew an older lady way back in the day. She worked at a gas station, and they had, sandwiches and stuff. She used to make chicken salad with the red grapes.
Oh my gosh, that is so good when they make it like that.
Oh,
I have to tell you, there's a place in Nashville that does that. There's it's called South Engine or Southern Engine, something like that, but it's inside the Marathon Music Works like factory.
Okay, yeah.
And it's one of like the shop kiosk things, and it's like a deli, Southern Engine Deli. That sounds right.
Yeah.
But they have the most amazing chicken salad sandwich. It is so good, and they use red grapes in it.
Oh my God. Okay, so you know where we're going.
Oh, oh no. Oh, there we go.
What? Are you having issues?
Oh, it was so weird. It just like froze for a second, and then like it went black and it came back in.
Yeah, it's weird.
Did it cut me off?
No, you're good. You're still on.
Oh, okay.
We're still recording.
Cool. Yeah. It's the best. You got to go check out the sandwich. It's like amazing.
I'm sitting here wondering if they're open this afternoon. So, I mean,
there you go. Yeah.
I might have to be making a trip to Nashville shortly. Because I love
it.
I don't.
If they're open, yeah.
I can't stand the celery in it, but throw the red grapes in there, and I'm just like there. I'm not. Oh man, I gotta have it.
Oh my gosh, yeah, so stinking good.
Mm-hmm. Now, one question I've got to ask.
Yeah.
I have got to ask. And I'll tell you why after I ask it.
I'm scared.
When you went on The Voice, the American Idol.
Yeah. Yeah.
When you went on American Idol and you met Harry Connick Jr., you got to tell me about that guy.
Honestly, he is amazing. Like, such a wonderful person. Like, I know going on to the show, I was a little bit nervous because he kind of seemed like the Simon Cowell of the newer version.
He does put off that look, you know?
Yeah. So I was like mostly intimidated by him, but he actually ended up being my favorite for, like, in the sense of there was, well, I guess like my NDA is probably expired with them by now. It's been over 10 years. But there was
We live our life by NDA, people.
apparently. But there was it was like my final performance on the show, and it was like the top 24 performance where you did the duet with your like idol alum, and then you had your solo performance. And so I'll try to make this long story short, but basically we got like custom in-ears made for like being on the show. And when mine came in, one of the ears was broken and a piece of it like broke off. So I had like a broken, like sharp in-ear in one ear to like just make it work. And then my sound when we did sound check earlier in the day was really funky. And what people don't know is that we filmed that episode back to back, even though it seems like it's 2 different days.
Yeah.
But we literally like filmed our duet and then went, changed, and then I did my solo, or it might have been vice versa. I can't remember which started. But what was really frustrating was I did my duet and I just got really weird feedback, like where they were making comments about how you can tell the age difference between, and my duet partner was Lauren Elena.
Yeah.
And just like making more like derogatory comments that were like, duh, she's like Emily's 15 and Lauren is like almost 10 years older than her. Of course, there's going to be like an age difference where you can tell an experience. It was just weird.
Yeah.
And then I did my solo performance right after that, felt great about it. And then like my feedback from the judges was like all negative. And I was so confused. And my friends in the crowd, like I had like a couple friends in the crowd. One like girl, she was on The Voice, and another was like a vocal coach, and got off stage and they were like, I don't know where those comments are coming from because you nailed it. Like the vocal coach was like, you hit all the notes, this doesn't make sense kind of thing, whatever.
Yeah.
And I ended up getting eliminated that round. And once it aired, I was actually in Nashville for CRS because I had a friend that was covering CRS. And so she brought me with her. And it was great exposure in the sense that like being in Nashville when the show was on, because I was getting recognized a lot, which was really cool. And, but also the negative side of it was I was in Nashville when that episode aired. And when it aired, I sounded awful. Like I had people sending me so much like hate tweets being like, just like all of the awful things that you can say behind your little angry keyboard screen. But
while you're in your mother's basement, it's okay.
Exactly. You know, big, strong people. But it was really crappy and I didn't understand. And, all that to say, they have the ability to control your audio, and obviously anything that like you do or on the show, like they can make it however they want it. So I'm convinced that they edited my audio and aired it to make me sound like crap because it's TV.
Yeah.
Because I had friends there that were like, you did not, like, what they're saying doesn't make any sense. So I'm convinced. Conspiracy theory, they messed it up. But
hey, here's a funny thing for you.
Yeah.
I don't think they did it on the YouTube. I think it was actually how it was done on the YouTube. What they aired had to have been different because you can hear the difference.
So I'm right.
You can hear the difference.
I should make a TikTok about this.
Because the whole time they were sitting there telling you, well, she's got the experience, she's had the time, blah, 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 all this other stuff. I was on my couch last night going, what the hell are you talking about?
Thank you. It was so frustrating.
See,
so frustrating.
Yeah, it's crazy stuff.
Yeah. I just have such ADHD. The whole reason of me telling you that whole long story that was supposed to be long story short was because after that, there was an after party, like a couple months later when it was like the live shows. And I went back out to LA and stayed with my friend that was still on the show. And at the after party, Harry saw me and was like, hey, I want to talk to you. Like, come find me later. Or like during like the filming of the finale, he said that. And then so went to the after party and it like was there. I was there for a couple hours with my friend, didn't see him anywhere. And then I was like, I'm just going to do one last lap before we leave.
Right.
And he's sitting down like with his family at like one of the tables at the after party. And I was like, I'm so sorry to interrupt, but you told me to come and find you.
Right.
And he basically told me like, don't take anything like to heart with this show. Like, you're going to do amazing things. And just like talk to me for probably 30 minutes, just being so kind. And it kind of also gave me that validation that what I felt happened.
Yeah.
That I was like wrongly eliminated.
Yep.
And so just from like that conversation, the fact that he didn't have to do that, like it was like all those months later and to take the time to just talk to me and be so kind. Like I always have been just so appreciative of that conversation. And
well, I mean, it tells you
who he showed up as a person there.
It's stuck in his mind with him, you know. Mm-hmm. That's what I get from that, you know. And I've always been a fan of Harry Connick Jr. I love his style, how he plays, his acting, and Hope Floats blew me.
Yeah. That was great.
And he always struck me as one of those more genuine people.
Yeah.
Because once you enter the beast of a certain thing, you have to be able to ride that certain thing.
Yeah.
But deep down, I think he's actually a good, genuine person.
I genuinely think he is, for sure. I mean, I got to see Keith Urban probably like 6 months after the finale he was playing a concert in my hometown, and he's also so genuine, so nice. Like seeing him after the show, like TV show at his show. The radio station was like super, super great in like exposure and having me do stuff in South Florida. And so I got to go backstage and do like a surprise, like, hi. And he just like, he saw me and just like beeline straight and was like, Emily, like hugged me and my mom. And like, so I didn't get any like personal conversations with Jennifer Lopez. So I have nothing to speak on that, to know, like, to be able to give the same caliber of credit of who they are as a person. But yeah, both the guys, like, were always just very sweet and genuine. And so I'm very thankful for that.
Well, see, that's where I think a lot of the fan base has switched. Because back in the day, artists would show up, perform a song, and leave.
Yeah.
After COVID, I think it's more about the artist is really wanting to be in touch more with the fan base, and the fan base is really wanting to know more about the artist.
Yeah.
Because for so long, it was always a mystery. It was like the big dark cloud, you know.
That's true. That's true.
And then with all the social media and stuff nowadays, it blows me away with how much people want to know about certain people. I get emails all the time, and they're like, "You talked to so and so. How were they? What was their mannerisms? You know?" And I'm like, just like, dude, you can see it on the podcast, man. I mean,
that's so funny.
It's wild how people are really just wanting to know that more.
Yeah, I guess because if I'm putting myself in those shoes, if I'm wanting to know like how somebody was like meeting them, it's more so to be like, okay, were they actually like a cool, genuine person? Do I want to like double down and support this person like hardcore, basically, because they're like actually a good person? Or are they kind of crappy and they're just like, nah, okay, I like their music, but whatever.
Yeah. Would you hang with them at the beach, or would you just go the other way? You know?
Exactly. Would you pull your hat further down and keep walking?
I hate that. But I mean, growing up in Nashville, I was always around somewhere doing something. So you'd run into people.
Yeah.
You'd run into artists all the time.
Yeah.
And some of them were very, very genuine people.
Mm-hmm.
And some of them were stuck up assholes.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep. Yeah.
And it's the same way with everyday life. You're going to meet people that are cool and you'd love to sit down and just hang out, you know, fire up the bonfire, you know, and do different
things. That's so true.
And there's some people, I don't give a damn how much money you got. I ain't hanging out with you.
I agree.
That's what.
Oh gosh.
When I did the lights and the sound and stuff like that, you know, you're always doing lights and sound for artists and everything else. And you got to meet them. You got to say, how do you like certain things, you know, and talk.
Yeah.
And you could always tell who was what.
Yeah.
Which was weird because it was how they treated me. You pretty much knew how they were that superiority complex, you know?
Yeah.
I don't like that.
No, I had, this was probably like 5 CMA fests ago, but I had one artist that like I had met and, had like a connection. I sang one of their songs on the show, and they just were, you know, the fake whole thing. And then just like, okay, bye, like picture, bye. And the next day I was walking up the artist entrance at like the convention center.
Yeah.
And they saw me and said hi and were a completely different person. I was like, oh, so because I'm back here right now you're gonna like be nice to me because now I'm not like a nobody to you. And like in the scheme of things, like I am, but like that to me, I was like, wow, it's really wild.
It blows your mind.
People treat people like that.
Yeah.
Like you're just a person.
Exactly.
I'm just a person.
My analogy is very simple. if you're trying to put your underwear on and you fall over in the damn floor, then you're just like everybody else.
It's true. That's true. That's so true. Oh my gosh.
Told you never know what's going on this show.
I love it. This is great. I am such a yapper. I'm like this and yap all day long. I love it.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, hopefully this is going okay because I am I go off on my little my boyfriend calls it my cul-de-sac when I'm trying to tell a story and then I stop off in a little cul-de-sac and I just hang out here for a little bit and then I'm like, oh yeah, this is where I was going. And I keep going. So I hope that this is all making sense to everybody.
You're doing great. I had an artist on the show, Brittany Bishop.
Yeah.
And she had done other podcasts before. And then she came on mine. And she was in studio. And we kept telling stories and going on little trails off to the left, off to the right, and then we come back full circle, and she was like, she coined the phrase bunny trails.
That's so funny.
And that's what I started calling it. We're on the bunny trail.
We're on the bunny trail. We're just having a great time.
I mean, it's just, that's what it's all about. I mean, when you meet people, you have the best time.
Yeah. I think it's so fun.
It's a lot of fun. Because I cannot stand when you meet somebody and have you ever met somebody and they just dismissed you right off the bat? Oh, that flies all over me. I can't stand it. Drives me nuts.
Yeah.
You know exactly what I'm talking about, girlfriend.
I do.
And I get so tired.
It's awful.
Are you going to stay in country music or are you going to do some crossover pop or?
I am open to because if Zed comes up and finds me and is like, do you want to sing on this song? I'd be like, well, yeah, of course, you're Zed.
Oh, yeah.
So something like that, yes, because I do listen to all different genres, pop, rock, rap stuff.
Yeah.
All over the place. But I grew up listening to rock and country from my parents.
Right.
And so I think this new year, I'm leaning more into my roots and what I grew up listening to. So I'm going to be going into that country rock type of feel. And I'm really excited about it.
Oh yeah. Cause I mean, I grew up in the glam metal days, the 80s.
Oh, nice.
So we had Motley Crue and Crocus and Dokken and all of them,
Oh, yeah.
And then I'm doing a podcast and I got mostly country music artists on. And I'm like, give me a rock guy. Give me some pop. Give me, something,
Yeah.
I think we were one of the few people on the block when MTV first came out.
Oh my gosh. MTV Cribs was my jam.
Oh yeah. They had a good
That was crazy.
I don't know if I'd want somebody walking around in my house with a camera though.
No. But it was so fascinating getting to see all these rich, famous people's houses being like, why do you have that in your house?
Yeah.
It's so you would just never expect some of these people to have such quirky interior design.
There was a lot of kitchens though that were to die for.
Yeah, that is so true.
I love a nice kitchen.
Oh yeah. I love to cook. So I'm right there with you. Give me a nice big kitchen.
Yeah, which That's what's funny because my studio is in my dining room, but the kitchen's up there.
Well, there you go.
It's funny. I got an open
It
concept.
works. Yeah, it works.
And I got the kitchen island and the nice kitchen that you can, I love to get in there and just cook every now and then, you know?
Yeah. It's your multi-purpose room.
Exactly. Well, growing up, that was always the gathering space.
Yeah.
You know, the kitchen, the dining room, or eat-in kitchen, as they call it. I was always around a lot of open concept floor plans. So Christmas, Thanksgiving, everybody was piled in.
Yeah. That's the best way to have it.
Yeah, it was crazy as I'll get out. But that's what we did, and we had fun, and you seen people that you hadn't seen in a year.
Yeah.
You know, and you caught up and you had some fun. And there's a lot of times you won't see your favorite cousin, but maybe twice, 3 times, maybe a year.
Yeah.
I'll get shot for this. But one of my favorite cousins is in Chicago. My other favorite cousins here in Nashville, and I see them about the same amount of times.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it makes sense though, because like it's so hard to schedule things with like anybody, especially like everybody's schedules. I feel like are just so crazy that even if I'm trying to plan something with a friend, I'm like, well, I'll be in town. I'll be back. I'll be in town in like 3 weeks or 2 weeks or whatever it is. Like, do you have these days? Like up 2 months out, a month out. It's ridiculous.
I've gotten where, and I'm sure you're probably the same way, but it's like people are wanting you to come over or hang out or do this or do that. And you're like, let me check my itinerary.
Yeah.
And I was one of those guys that never thought I'd be living my life by an itinerary.
Yeah.
What the hell?
What the hell? Yeah. It's so crazy living by a calendar. I feel like I do love my calendar because I have ADHD very bad. I like get so distracted doing things. And so for me to stay on a task, I'm like, this is great. I have a checklist. I have time slots that I need to be doing these things. And like in that way, it helps a bunch because it makes it a little bit better to try to get stuff done. I feel like I'm still always behind. But I feel like it's crazy that nowadays, like I don't know what my life is unless I'm looking at my calendar.
Yeah. And I'm not ADHD. I like to know what's going on from day to day now.
Yeah.
I've got this. I've got that.
Yeah.
I got a meeting here.
Yeah.
I actually called Julie at around 10:30 this morning just to verify that I was meeting with you at noon.
Yeah.
Are we still on? Yeah. Oh, everything's fine. Everything. Okay, good.
I was checking my email just to like double check. I'm like, did I get anything? Like, okay, no, there's no cancellations. We're good to go.
Yeah. That's what I love.
Yeah.
Okay. I got to know on All the Pieces album that you just dropped, which one is your favorite song? We can ask 100 people and we'll get different things.
Yeah.
I like to know from the artist, which one is their favorite one to perform?
To perform?
Yeah.
I would say for sure YY, which is the last track on the album. And I wrote that one a couple years ago. And that's that's definitely one that since I wrote it, it's been I've played it at every writer's round because I love how catchy it is and love the melodies. And I feel like it's just such a relatable song. So I would say that one is my favorite to perform because it's got cool dynamics too. I'd say it's so hard to pick, but the other one that stands out to me is When It's Raining. I wrote that one, I want to say 4 years ago in Muscle Shoals.
Yeah.
And it's like the most different, I think, out of anything that I've written. And it's just got kind of like a cool, different, almost like bluesy type of vibe to it. And obviously we did it acoustic, so it makes it more like countrified.
Right.
But like when we did the demo for it, it's very like, it was giving Alicia Keys kind of like soup. It's just really different and cool. And so that's the other one that stands out to me that was just like fun and it felt like it had a nice place on the album.
You know what's wild though? Because this just hit me when you were saying all that, how it had that Alicia Keys vibe to it and everything else.
Yeah.
But this whole album is more of an acoustic album.
Mm-hmm.
Now you could go back, put instrumentation to it. You see where I'm going with some of this?
Yeah. I have plans for definitely one of the songs to do that. Because Think You're Jolene, Whiskey Side of Me, that's already out. Those kind of give a little bit of like a taste of where I'm like leaning in my music, the more kind of like sassy, edgy, like more kind of country rock type of stuff. And so one of the songs, I'm definitely going to do like a fully produced release of it so that it will also like pave the direction.
See, I love that. I love that. And I heard the Think You're Jolene, you did it at the listening room.
Yeah.
And I was listening to that song and I was like, let me put some guitars behind that. But I love this song, man. It was just like,
thank you.
You ain't nothing but a player. Get over it.
Yeah. Literally. Bye.
It was funny as I'll get out.
Thank you. That was a fun one to write.
Yeah. Always. I like some of the and it's something that a lot of people doesn't do anymore. But back in the day, you had the rock ballads.
Yeah.
And they kind of went away with the 80s.
Yeah.
They don't really do a whole lot of that. And I really wished that somebody in the country world would throw a piano and electric guitar and some stuff behind it and write another ballad.
I got you.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, you had REO Speedwagon came out with those ballads and
so good.
Yeah, Home Sweet Home from Motley Crue. I mean, those are like timeless.
Oh, yeah.
You can't even go downtown Broadway without hearing I'm a cowboy on a steel horse I ride.
Yeah, that's so true, yeah.
Which used to be my favorite song. But if you stand in the middle of Broadway and you hear it from 3 different clubs, 5 or 8 seconds off from each other, it'll drive you nuts.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
I told somebody else, I said, I want to one day have enough money where I could just go down there and go to every club Okay, at this time you start this song. At this time you start this song.
That would be so cool.
And have 3 or 4 bars with the windows up, everything else, and they all play the same song at the same time.
That would literally be so cool.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's totally attainable.
Oh yeah. $500 per bar. I could probably make it happen.
Well, I feel like you could even pitch it without money. Like, because that would just be such a cool video, like, or like content to even promote all of the, I don't know. Like, there's.
And then if we could get
That's
everybody
so
in
fun.
the street instead of line dancing, get them to do the Michael Jackson Thriller dance.
That's cool. I like that.
I just like weird, crazy stuff, just
That would be so
done.
sick. Yeah.
We'll call the news crews down, all that stuff.
It could be a whole segment. I see your vision.
It could be a hell of a music video for somebody.
Yeah. Yeah. Even
all rights reserved.
And you just like bring out the band and they just start playing the real version in the middle of Broadway.
Mm-hmm. So,
cowboy.
Now I seen you talking about something, and I'm going to bring it up.
Okay.
Because I actually have a question. I'm going to lead it off with a question.
Okay.
What is the biggest size venues that you've performed at?
Ooh.
This makes you think a little bit.
Yeah. The first one that comes to mind is there's an amphitheater in Long Island called Penny Saver Amphitheater.
Right.
And I think that was 6 years ago or so. And I got to open up for like Old Dominion, Ryan Hurd, Russell Dickerson. It was like a big like festival thing. And that place was huge. So that's the first one that comes to mind. But for like indoor, I just did a tour in the Netherlands, and that was so much fun. And there was definitely some theaters there that were really big.
I heard Netherlands, Europe, Australia, all these places are just eating up country artists, country music. They are getting treated so well in these other countries.
Yeah.
And the crowds are just insane.
Yeah, they were like, I guess the people that we were in the Netherlands with, they were telling us that it was like kind of like country music was a little newer there.
Yeah.
And like, so the demographic that were coming to the theaters was kind of more of like middle-aged to upper kind of demographic. And so they're trying to create more of like a Nashville, like country music type of scene there which is why like the tour does what it does, is to just get like more people aware of like country music and how great it is, which is like super fun. And like the younger people as well. So it's definitely like growing so huge over there. And C2C helps a ton as well. That's so huge over there.
Yeah, because that's
awesome.
I was talking to Tyler Booth, and he had just done a European tour, and he was telling me how gracious everybody was, and just how country music had just exploded over there.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So, what venue was you at when you got your moment? And the moment I'm talking about is when you was singing to the crowd out front, and they actually started singing back to you. Because you've been out there 10 years now, hon.
Wait, are you like, is there a video you're referencing?
No.
Oh, no. Okay. A case scenario.
This is a genuine your moment when the crowd was singing back to you and you got to feel that energy and everything just coming straight back to you.
Oh, that's tough. I'm like trying to recall the past 15 years. Hold on.
Well, you've been out there. People love your music. They love your voice. You've got one hell of a showmanship when you're on stage.
Thank you.
And the way you keep the audience in your control. They're right there. You're playing to them and they're loving every minute of it. You get the claps, you get the cheers. I just wondered if you'd had that moment yet to where they were singing your song back to you.
There's been a couple times where I do like a writer's round, and it's usually during CMA Fest.
Right.
And where I've like been performing a song of mine, and I like start scanning the room and I hear people and I see people singing along.
Right.
And that's been so cool. Where I'm like, oh my God, you know my song? Or like when I was doing the tour in the Netherlands, I had two ladies. They came from Germany. Like they drove like over 4 hours from Germany to see me at the show. And I thought that was so crazy. I was like, oh my God, you came all this way. And they're like, and then I had another couple people at another show. And they're like, oh, I wanted to hear Think You're Jolene. And I was like,
yeah,
wait, you knew my music like before? And they're like, yeah, we're here for you. And that's like absolutely crazy. Like so exciting. So I haven't had yet like the moment of like performing and having like the crowd sing it back to me, but I've had the experience of like singing it and having people in the crowd, seeing them sing along, which is so cool.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the whole thing, and I'm going to give you probably about, I'm going to give you a year, 1 full year.
For what?
And I'm going to say that you're going to have your Taylor Swift moment where you was in the nosebleed seats with you and your mom, and you had that overcome, that tears, the whole 9 yards.
I'm literally going to cry right now, David.
I'm not here to make you cry. I'm just telling you, I'm willing to bet within 1 year, you're going to have one of those moments and you're going to think about it.
Thank you. I literally will like sob. The thought makes me want to just sob. I'm like, I'll be like, I'm so glad you guys know this song because I'm just going to stand up here and cry and listen to you guys. Cool.
Yeah,
Thanks.
exactly. That's all you got to do.
That's amazing. Thank you. That's so sweet.
Well, I mean, it's
right.
Won't be long. You'll be in the circle and you're going to be going on up.
That'd be crazy. That's insane.
What?
Like, just like thinking like to wrap, you know what I mean? Like to wrap your brain around it.
Oh yeah.
Because I try to just like okay, this is super awesome what I'm doing right now. And like I focus on the steps, and like obviously one day I want to do all of those things, but they seem so like far because I'm like looking at the steps.
Yeah, 20 years
So
20 years away. Yeah. No.
yeah. So like that's why I'm like, that's insane. Like wrap my head. But I see it where it just happens so fast, like out of nowhere. Yeah. So
yeah. And it's another good friend of ours, Taylor Austin Dye. She just did her operation.
Yeah, I saw that. That's amazing.
And I was so proud of her. I mean, my bad thing is I get attached to y'all, and I get so proud when you move forward, and I watch you grow, you know, and it's like, yeah. I freaking love it.
Oh yeah, 100%. She's so sweet too. So like on top of it being like a genuinely good, sweet person, as well as being talented, like makes it even better. I'm so happy for her.
Yeah. It's wild.
That's awesome. You're like a proud dad.
You know, almost, yeah.
Oh, you're like little musical ducklings.
Yes. Fly, fly.
Fly. Oh, that's awesome.
You never know. Oh, Lord. We got to get you in the studio one day.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hopefully next year we're going to get you in the studio.
Let's do it.
We might bring Rebecca in too while we can.
Fun.
Pick on her.
Party it up.
She's a hoot.
I'll bake some snacks.
Okay.
I like to cook, so I'll bring little goodies.
That works for me.
Does that sound good?
That sounds good.
All right.
Love it. Purity Dairy is one of our sponsors, so they supply all the beverages we want.
Oh, that's cool.
So you want milk? You want? Just let us know. We'll hook you up.
Perfect. Do you guys have any allergies?
No.
Okay, cool. Just making sure. Don't want to like be like, here's all my gifts of food to poison you.
No, I'm from the generation of hose pipe and dirt. So
yeah,
the crazy generation.
I love that. I cannot have gluten, and like I tried to avoid it for the longest time, just like ignoring that I couldn't have it, and it just reached a point where I was like, I'm in so much pain. This is not worth it anymore. And so it's so difficult because I know what, like Cheez-Its, I miss Cheez-Its so bad. Like they were one of my favorite snacks, but there's just croissants. Oh my God. I can't have any of it anymore. Yeah. So that's why I just always check because I can't.
Yeah. My granddaughter is a goldfish girl. She likes those little goldfish snacks.
The goldfish. Yes. In the same lane with the Cheez-Its. I used to like put a bunch, like chew a bunch and then just like let the salt dissolve. And it would be like a paste in my mouth. It was ridiculous, but delicious.
That's awesome.
If I think about it hard enough, I can taste it. So,
well, yeah. I'm a chocolate chip cookie fan. I always have been.
Yes. Honestly, it's probably helped me that I can't eat it anymore because I like all of those things where I have no self-control when it comes to snacks and food. So now that I can't eat it, at least that helps me some. Otherwise, I think I would be 1,000 pounds.
Well, I went through a time where I was just like, I wasn't eating regular meals. I was just snacking all freaking day.
Yeah, I feel that.
You know, Slim Jims and you know, just different stuff.
Oh no. I've heard so many bad things about Slim Jims.
Yep, so many bad things. Speaking of my granddaughter, she's trying to sneak out the front door.
Go for it, girl.
Oh, Lord.
is she?
She's 12.
Oh.
Yep. Which means she started getting into the smart ass stage. I got my hair cut the other day, and she said, I don't know why you're getting your hair cut. You're going balding. And I'm like, okay.
Stop.
We want to make it less noticeable, so you cut your hair shorter. It's okay.
No.
Yep.
Oh, wow. That's entertaining.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know, always something going on around here.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we'll get the studio and get down to Nashville. Everybody can come in, hang out, and
Yeah.
we'll just have fun.
That'll be great.
Yep. Because I plan on having a fridge and snacks and all kinds of stuff. Just, I wrote on your paper. I've got a paper with your stuff on it. I wrote on it.
Nice.
Gluten.
Oh, thank you.
You're allergic to gluten.
Allergic.
So I got you down.
Thank you.
Emily, thank you so much for being on the show today. This has been a hoot.
Yes, this has been so much fun. Thank you for having me.
I loved learning more about you and just the things that you have accomplished. My hat is off to you. You are on a wonderful path, and I just can't wait to see where it goes.
Thank you so much.
You're more than welcome.
Excited.
So tell everybody where they can follow you.
You can follow me on Instagram, Facebook, X, TikTok, YouTube. What's the new one that Instagram has that's kind of like messaging? Anyways, it's either Emily Brooke.
I think it's Threads. Yeah, that's
Threads. Yes, Threads. It's Emily Brooke or Emily Brook Music on all of those.
Awesome. I love it. All right, girl. Well, I appreciate you. And we're going to
appreciate you.
And we'll look forward to seeing you soon.
Yay. Thank you so much.
Everybody, please check out Emily Brooke's stuff. You will be pleasantly surprised.
Thank you.
I still love the Jolene song. But anyway.
Oh, so good. I love it. Such a jam. It's like you think it, Jolie.
Yep. All right. We'll see you later.
See you later.
Bye. All right, everybody, please remember to like, share, follow, subscribe. It's down there somewhere. It helps us all. I'm not kidding. Artists that you love, podcasts that you love, like, share, follow, subscribe. It helps us all. And we appreciate everybody tuning in today to the David Bradley Show. And we will see you soon. Love you. Mean it. Bye.